As expected, Rajon Rondo has officially signed, or officially unofficially signed, with the Los Angeles Lakers, as he plans to sign a one-year deal of $2.6 million with the Lakers upon clearing waivers today. This will give Rondo pretty much his full $7.5 million salary that he was expected to get this season via the $2.6 million on the deal and the money that he has agreed to via the buyout with the Memphis Grizzlies. And so I just wanted to briefly talk about how I think Rajon Rondo fits into this Los Angeles Lakers team and what type of role he could play on this team this upcoming season. Now, of course, he was just a member of the Los Angeles Lakers about 11 months ago when he just won a title with them in 2020. And he's now back after a season where he was with the Hawks and the Clippers, and has now put himself in a scenario where he is back with where he won a title just 11 months ago with the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, I don't think his role is going to be anywhere near as prominent this time around for Rajon Rondo. And the fact of the matter is that the Lakers have a lot more depth on this team, and they have, most importantly, more playmakers, or more importantly, a big-time playmaker in the name of Russell Westbrook. And Rajon Rondo's best attribute is his playmaking ability. And after that, he doesn't really have anything great to bring to the table. His defense isn't anywhere near as good as it used to be. He's not a bad three-point shooter anymore, but he's not a great one either. He's just not bringing anything else great to. He's a decent rebounder, but this Lakers team definitely does not need rebounding. You're talking about Russell Westbrook, you're talking about LeBron James, AD, Carmelo Anthony, whoever they have at center, whether that's Dwight Howard if Marc Gasol returns. Point being, there's a lot of rebounding on this team. So Rajon Rondo's best attributes aren't really needed on this Los Angeles Lakers team. As far as backup point guard minutes goes, he's going to be competing with Kendrick Nunn, who is arguably a better scorer than him at this point in time in their careers, and obviously is younger. And the Lakers probably want to try and at least motivate their younger players somewhat to want to come around and stay in a couple of years' time, so that when this era of LeBron James or Russell Westbrook is over, maybe they can retain some of them at least, so they have something moving forward that isn't just a bunch of 33-plus-year-old players. So that being said, I don't think Rajon Rondo is going to have a big role in this team. I really don't. They also have Malik Monk in the backcourt. They also have THT, who might play at the 2. He could also play at the 3. Same can be said for Bazemore, although he's probably more playing at the 3 at this point in time in his career. That being said, Rajon Rondo just doesn't have that big of a role on this team. Playoff Rondo is way less of a thing now. I think Rajon Rondo's ability, athleticism, defense just isn't anywhere near as good. And as I mentioned, the Lakers just don't need that much of a primary ball handler or playmaker like they did before. This team 2 years ago, 2 seasons ago, didn't really have another playmaker outside of LeBron James on the team. They didn't have another great point guard. But now they do. They have Russell Westbrook. They have an all-star caliber point guard. And so Rajon Rondo's playmaking and ball handling abilities isn't going to be needed that much, because LeBron James or Russell Westbrook is probably going to be pretty much always on the court, and Kendrick Nunn can serve a couple of minutes of point guard duties a night if they need, while Russell Westbrook and LeBron James are off the court. The point being, Rajon Rondo just isn't really needed on the court. Now, his championship pedigree is still going to be there. He'll bring him in for some mentorship for someone like Kendrick Nunn, so he can continue to develop. But he's just really going to be a bench presence, someone who can be some good depth if they need via injury, whether that's Russell Westbrook, Kendrick Nunn, or LeBron James, as someone who can be a backup point guard and playmaker. But outside of that, I think Rajon Rondo's really here for the veteran presence, for the championship pedigree, to be bringing him back with LeBron James. There's obviously a good relationship there with LeBron James, with AD, with Rajon Rondo, where this deal would not be made on someone that isn't really going to be immediately impacting the rotation on a night-to-night basis. Now, maybe he does squeak into the rotation, but that's definitely not what I expect. I think this is much more of a championship pedigree, experience, veteran signing. He's been brought in on a veteran's minimum at that 1 year, $2.6 million. But doesn't have to do anything crazy. There's not any big expectations here. And I think that's something that all of us should be expecting, is that Rajon Rondo isn't going to be coming in and expected to be playoff Rondo on this team. He's not going to have to come in and be that guy who absolutely performs well in the playoffs like he did with the Lakers in the 2020 playoff run. This is a scenario where the Lakers are going to do their thing. Rondo's not going to have to be a big part of it, but it's still a fine signing and gives them good championship pedigree and a good vet going into what's likely going to be a deep playoff run for them this upcoming season, as long as they can stay healthy. That being said, that is my thoughts on the signing of Rajon Rondo by the Los Angeles Lakers. If you did enjoy the video, feel free to leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And if you want to hear my thoughts on other things throughout the offseason, make sure to click the box on the right hand side of the screen. That being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next one.